Hey everyone, I'm Connor and welcome to my channel, The Closet. If it's your first time here on my channel, I like to talk about all things luxury. If that's something you're into, I would love it if you could hit the subscribe button and the bell button so you're notified when I bring out new videos. And if you're returning, welcome back to my channel. I feel like I'm giving a bit too much, you know. I don't know how that looks. I just don't want like areola town. That'll do. I'm not going to look like this forever. Alright, let's get into it. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about my favourite Louis Vuitton collaborations over the years. And these aren't necessarily the ones that I, liked the best aesthetically, but more so what they did for the brand, what they actually meant at the time that they came about, and all the other things in between, alright? So this might go for a little bit depending on how long I talk, so maybe go get yourself a little drink, okay? A little coffee, cup of tea, a wine, a bottle of wine, whatever. We're not going to do none of the judging here. Okay, we're going to be doing a little bit of judging, but not a lot, okay? Alright guys, let's get into it. Oh, wait a minute. Alright guys. Am I going through puberty again? Jesus. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, to start off the list, we have got the collaboration with Richard Prince in 2008. Also, this list is in no kind of chronological order or order of what I prefer most. It's just over the past few weeks when I've been making notes to do this video, I've just added collaborations in them as I've thought of them. But yeah, Richard Prince in 2008, you probably will remember this collaboration with the watercolor monogram, which was basically the white background with the watercolor LV. Incredibly cool take on the classic. Just exactly what I love about Louis Vuitton when they do these collaborations. It is shifting the boundaries and putting these colorful, vibrant pieces on a classic take. I just absolutely love it. You probably also might remember this bag that I'll put up on the screen. Yeah, look, he was also responsible for this. I know this bag got a lot of hate. It was in the Sex and the City movie, the first movie, and it's the bag that Carrie gives to her assistant as her first Louis Vuitton bag. And look, it's fucking ugly, okay? It's not the prettiest bag, and there was so much like criticism at the time. They're like, why would she give her this bag? Like, you've seen the movie, you know what this bag looks like. But that was the, what was it called? Motard Firebird bag. Bird bag, that's hilarious. And yeah, it wasn't the prettiest. Everyone was like, she should have just got like a Neverfull or something classic, but whatever. He did that he was responsible for that with the collaboration as well. So look, few hit and miss pieces, but the watercolor Speedies, they fetch for such a high premium now, on the pre-loved market, because they were just classic. And classic, were they classic? They were a great take on the classic. That's the right word. And yeah, do you own one? Pop it down in the comments, because I know that quite a few people on my Instagram feed do own this watercolor Speedy bag. I've seen it in my feed, so let me know what you think of that one. Next on the list would have to be the Stephen Sprouse collaboration with Louis Vuitton. And if you're not familiar with this collaboration, I will have photos rolling over as I talk about what it kind of entailed, but this was such a revolutionary collaboration. So originally Sprouse Louis Vuitton started their collab in 2001, which gave us the birth of the graffiti monogram, which was a very, very bold move back then in the early 2000s, mocking the Louis Vuitton logo, because back then logos were such a sacred piece of brand equity to these luxury fashion houses. So to completely push the boundaries and just graffiti over the classic monogram was quite revolutionary. It really pushed these boundaries, and a great kind of hybrid of art and luxury fashion collaborating together, just to pretty much say, fuck the status quo, this is what we're doing. And it was such a monumental, I know we're talking about bags, I understand guys, but it was monumental. And it was incredibly popular, and so popular that I think Sprouse passed away in between, like after that collaboration sometime, and before 2009 when they re-brought it back. So I think in 2009, They played like homage to his work as an artist, and they brought back the graffiti collaboration with neons, and also incredibly sought after, highly coveted. If you purchase bags from that time originally and you still have them, like, hold on to them. Or if you're, if you've gone back and purchased them pre-loved after the fact, even better. But Sprouse also did the roses on the monogram, which was one of his more famous kind of trademark artistic designs. Also incredibly popular. And it really did, if you kind of look at all the collaborations that happened after since, that really did like pave the way for this kind of play on high-end luxury. It was really impressive. Next, we have the Supreme collaboration in 2017. I will admit I was not a fan of this collaboration aesthetically. It was a lot of reds and, it just wasn't really my thing. There was also a lot of camo print. Not really my vibe, but I'm a huge fan of what it actually did. Basically, it was the first time we ever really saw a kind of French luxury fashion house collaborate with a very contemporary high street kind of skateboarding brand of all things. And it was just such a juxtaposition between two pieces of lifestyle, I guess you'd call it. And Kim Jones was creative director at the time when this happened, and this paved the way again for mixing and matching high street or contemporary fashion with luxury fashion houses. And you probably then saw the ripple effect of that after, like with Fendi and then Fila when they collaborated, and you kind of saw these two brands that were just so different, and you think, what the hell is going on here? And I think that's the best part about fashion, when these rules are broken and these collaborations happen, and it really leaves you thinking, like, how did this happen? Like, what's next, basically. I remember when this collaboration first came out, obviously in 2017, and I was very new to luxury. I didn't understand it. I didn't know what collaborations were. I just didn't get it. And I remember seeing it thinking, oh, are these like, is this fake, or is this like upcycling, where this brand Supreme, which I didn't even know what it was then, I still don't really know what it is now, I just know it's like an American like skateboarding New York kind of apparel, and I thought, are they like upcycling, like getting pieces of Louis Vuitton and then like upcycling their own products? I had no idea, and that was the first time that I remember thinking, what is this? And I did a little bit of research and I found out about collaborations, and I was like mind blown, because I didn't get it. So that was obviously a very kind of iconic move from Louis Vuitton, very pushing of the boundaries, and yeah, definitely paved the way for a lot more collaborations between completely different brands. The next collaboration we have is the Chapman Brothers collection in 2017 with their Sinister Safari. Okay, I absolutely love this collaboration, but I get why people didn't like it, because it's fucking ugly. But I just love how horrifying and offbeat and whimsical, and it resembles a nightmare, and it's just, I just absolutely love it. I love the color schemes they used, lots of navies, lots of off-whites, and I love that they didn't just stick to monogram, they also put some of the illustrations on damier ebene, which normally when Louis Vuitton does collaborations, they tend to stick to classic monogram and then changing that up. So I love that they kind of ventured out onto the other canvases. There's something about it that I can't explain. I think I'm secretly drawn to just ugly, offbeat kind of Brothers Grimm looking things, and this is what it reminded me of, like the Brothers Grimm stories. I just absolutely vibed with it. Of course, I didn't know about this collaboration until way after the fact, when I started getting more into luxury. The only piece I have from it is this luggage tag with the elephant. It's like an oversized luggage tag, and as you can see, the elephant is truly horrifying. It's very grim. And then on the back, it is monogram canvas in the kind of like cream background with the navy, and then the little luggage bit is just navy. Yeah, it's just one of those things, when you see it, you can't explain why you like it, you just do. But buying pieces on the pre-loved market from this collaboration is no cheap task. They are incredibly expensive, highly coveted, highly collectible. They're just really expensive. Like, I think when I got this luggage tag, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago, it was like $300 or something, and it was the only real piece I could find that was in good condition, that wasn't like $4,000 or $5,000 for an item. But I just love it, and I know it's not for everyone, but if you liked it, please pop down in the comments. If you own something from it, let me know. And last on the list, but certainly not least, would have to be the iconic Takashi Murakami collaboration that spanned over a decade with Louis Vuitton and the artist from 2003 to 2015. This collaboration is when I think about my first early memories of Louis Vuitton. This is what I refer back to. Of course, the iconic multicolor monogram. I don't know why it landed so hard, but it just did. And I think everybody remembers the first time they saw the piece of monogram canvas with the multicolor. I remember my very first memories of Louis Vuitton was watching Newlyweds with Jessica Simpson and Nick Lachey on MTV. It would have been 2006, 2007. And I think Jessica Simpson, she got like one of the bags, and she wanted like the entire collection, or like the entire set to kind of match. Like, she wanted like the wallet and everything. And then she got the wallet for her birthday. And I just remember looking at it thinking, wow, this must be a really expensive brand. Like, she's a celebrity and she's kind of, you know, can't just go out and buy it. You know, I had no idea. And I just remember thinking, wow, like, you've made it in life when you've got this like multicolored, I think she just called it rainbow canvas or something, like she didn't know, this like rainbow colored Louis Vuitton thing. I just thought it was just so, you know, like only the elite have it. Fast forward like 20 years, I'm a celebrity apparently. But it was like the early 2000s. It was the kind of emergence of socialites, and this was the accessory they had. They had like a pochette accessoire in multicolor, or they had a speedy, or they had a keep-all. It was like the ultimate accessory that you had when, you know, these emergence of socialites were coming up, and the paparazzi kind of fixated on these circles of, you know, socialites going out clubbing and shopping. And it was just this whole kind of era. I guess it paved the way essentially for social media, where there was this obsession with what people were wearing, what people were doing, where they're going, and they didn't really need to be famous for anything. It was just this vibe, okay? It was a vibe, and it's like, you know, the feeling of what it looked like back then, and you know what it meant, but you can't really describe how it felt. It was the beginning of an era. Y2K, girl, Y2K. And Louis Vuitton, you did that. All right. Takashi Murakami, you did that. And I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. I'm Australian. But yeah, it was just everything. I'll put up, obviously, the photos of some of my favorite pieces that I just absolutely loved. And maybe one day I'll get a little sneaky multicolored piece that's vintage. And then I'll get, you know, let it have a facelift like Meredith does with all her pieces. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it the thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. And please pop down in the comments, what was your favorite Louis Vuitton collaboration over the years? Do you own a piece from it? Have you always lusted after a piece from it? And then, you know, when you were in a position to get it, it was finished? Let me know down below. Also, I would love it if you could subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and ring the little ding-a-ling bell so you're notified when I bring out new videos. Yeah, so thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all very shortly in my next video. Bye!